Welcome. Welcome to the deep dive. Now, imagine the kind of high-stakes robbery you usually only see in, well, Hollywood blockbusters.
Right.
Forget the screeching tires of a getaway car or, I don't know, the roar of a speedboat cutting through choppy waters. This isn't your typical bank heist. We're talking about a helicopter.
A helicopter. Yeah.
Hovering, descending from the pre-dawn sky, landing with just incredible audacity, and then with millions of dollars in tow, simply lifting off and flying away.
It's a scene that seems completely impossible, almost, like custom written for the big screen, right?
Exactly.
Yet it played out in real life, in Sweden, right under the noses of law enforcement.
And it wasn't just some smash and grab.
No, not at all. This wasn't a desperate act. It was a meticulously planned operation, a grand heist that just stunned the nation. What's truly remarkable here isn't just the use of an aircraft, which, immediately elevates it beyond ordinary crime.
You're way beyond.
But the sheer confidence and precision behind every single move.
It's the kind of daring that just makes you lean in and ask, how? How was this incredible event meticulously planned with such audacious precision and, honestly, a flair for the dramatic? And maybe even more importantly, how did authorities, after being so thoroughly outmaneuvered, even misled, ever manage to catch the culprits behind Sweden's first ever helicopter heist?
And that's exactly our mission today. We're going to peel back every layer of this extraordinary true story.
Okay.
We'll explore the incredible details that paint a picture of, well, strategic genius, the shocking twists that left seasoned police just scratching their heads, and the innovative investigative work that ultimately began to unravel the whole mystery. This deep dive will reveal how crucial intelligence was received, the preemptive measures authorities took, and ultimately why those measures failed to prevent one of the most remarkable heists in modern history.
Okay.
Prepare yourself for a story that really proves reality can be far more captivating than fiction.
Okay, let's unpack this incredible story, starting with the stage itself, the target and its environment. Our story centers on the G4S Cash Service Center in Västberga. Now, that name might not immediately ring a bell for many.
Probably not, no.
But this was no ordinary building, and G4S is definitely no ordinary company. For those unfamiliar, G4S is this colossal global private security company headquartered in London.
Huge.
And when we say colossal, we really mean it. They're one of the world's largest, providing everything from, personnel security and cash management to prisoner transport.
Right, the whole spectrum.
Yeah, and just to give you a real sense of their global footprint and the kind of trust they commanded, they even provided fire and emergency response services to NASA at one point.
NASA. Wow. Okay.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? About the caliber of their operations and maybe paradoxically the scale of the target they presented to those with criminal intent.
That really puts into perspective the immense scale of this company. It highlights the high-stakes environments they operate within. And the specific location chosen, Västberga, situated in southern Stockholm, that wasn't accidental either.
No.
It's strategically vital. It boasts an excellent transportation network, most notably the E4 highway running right through it.
Okay. Logistics.
Exactly. This makes it an ideal logistics hub for any company dealing with the constant flow of enormous sums of money. It's all about efficient movement and distribution, which, from a criminal perspective, also means a central point of concentration, a big, tempting target.
That makes perfect sense. And the operational scale of this particular center in Västberga was, well, genuinely staggering. At the time, it was Sweden's largest cash management company, handling the storage, counting, and transport of vast amounts of local currency for the entire nation.
The whole country's cash flow, basically.
Pretty much. Think about this. We're talking about an average of 50 armored vehicles, those huge, heavily reinforced trucks entering and exiting daily.
50 a day. Wow.
And maybe the most compelling detail. Over 1 billion Swedish krona was routinely stored within its walls.
1 billion krona.
To put that in perspective for you, our listeners, that's roughly 140 million US dollars at the time, just sitting there.
Yeah, right for the taking.
Exactly.
That volume of cash, that immense concentration of wealth, it explains precisely why this location became such an irresistibly attractive target for, high-level criminals.
Right.
And while G4S undoubtedly implemented stringent security measures, as you'd absolutely expect for a facility handling such sums.
Of course.
Even the most robust systems often have a critical vulnerability, a single weak point somewhere.
Always.
The center itself operated on a 24-hour shift system, which is a testament to the non-stop flow of cash they processed, requiring constant vigilance. And the building itself was a 7-story structure, appearing from the outside to be, well, an impregnable fortress.
So this G4S fortress sounds impenetrable. But like you said, with any security system, there's always a weak point. Did robbers manage to find one here? And if so, what on earth was it?
They certainly did. And it was, ironically, located right at the very top of what seemed like this unassailable building.
The top.
Yeah. Let's walk through the building's layers of security just quickly. The ground floor was, as you'd expect, the vehicle entrance and exit for those armored trucks.
Standard stuff.
Right. The second floor housed the core main vault, a true stronghold, built with high-strength anti-riot, anti-robbery structures, multiple security doors, layers of complex locks. It was as close to Fort Knox as you could probably imagine for a cash center.
Okay, so very secure down there.
Definitely. Moving up, the 6th floor was where the cash counting room was located. This is where employees meticulously sorted and counted the allocated cash.
Ah, the operational hub.
Exactly. And this room in particular was designed with heavy-duty security in mind. It featured bulletproof windows and custom iron doors that were specifically engineered to withstand 15 minutes of sustained attack from even the most determined assailants.
15 minutes. That's a long time under attack.
It is. The other floors were more standard offices, employee break areas, monitoring rooms, equipment maintenance, all typical stuff for a large-scale operation.
All those layers of defense sound incredibly robust.
Yeah.
So after all that security, where was the fatal flaw? Where was the Achilles heel that the robbers actually exploited?
The critical weak point, the one they identified and exploited with such, well, audacious precision, was the roof.
A roof again.
Yeah. Unlike a flat, heavily reinforced roof you might expect on such a high-value target, the G4S building had a distinctive pyramid-shaped tempered glass skylight.
A glass skylight on a cash depot.
Astonishingly, yes. And this unique architectural feature was largely unguarded. It was literally a gaping vulnerability, an Achilles heel just waiting to be exploited by anyone who knew about it.
A skylight. That's almost too perfect for a movie plot. It just begs the question, how on earth did the robbers even discover such a specific unguarded vulnerability in a building designed to be so secure?
That points to incredible reconnaissance, doesn't it? Maybe even inside information. We'll get into that.
Okay. But before the actual heist, there was this crucial piece of foreshadowing, a near miss that, well, had it been handled differently, could have changed everything.
You're absolutely right. Let's rewind a bit to August 27, 2009. This was weeks before the actual heist, nearly a full month.
Right.
Stockholm police received a very unusual phone call, not from a local tipster, but from the Serbian Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Serbia. Wow. Okay. International.
Yeah. Think about the implications of that intelligence crossing international borders, reaching the highest levels.
That international connection alone makes it fascinating.
Yeah.
What was the specific intelligence they shared? What did they say?
What's truly critical here is the specificity. The Serbian authorities revealed they'd intercepted information while monitoring a known criminal organization.
Okay.
The tip was incredibly clear. A group was planning to rob a cash vault in Sweden with a target of 90 million Swedish krona.
90 million. Very specific.
Very specific. And here's the shocking, almost unbelievable detail. The plan might involve a helicopter.
A helicopter.
With pilots being actively recruited at high prices for an operation slated to occur before September 17.
Wow. A helicopter. This is not a detail you just brush off in a police report.
Yeah.
So with such an incredibly specific and, frankly, cinematic warning, how did the Swedish police react? This sounds like, a dream come true for law enforcement, right, to have this kind of advance notice.
Well, their response was immediate, but ultimately it involved a crucial misjudgment, a classic case study in intelligence assessment, really.
Well, so?
Police immediately identified 3 major cash management companies in Sweden as potential targets. Makes sense.
Okay.
Among them, a local company called Panaxia, whose service center was located right at the airport, stood out as the most likely candidate.
Why Panaxia?
It had a history. Panaxia had been robbed twice before, in 2002 and 2006.
Ah, okay. Pattern recognition.
Exactly. This pattern of previous attacks made it seem like the logical and, to the police, the most probable target.
So they focused their resources on Panaxia. acting on what seemed like pretty solid intelligence. What preemptive actions did they actually take?
They deployed helicopters to monitor the vicinity of the Panaxia facility, making their presence very overt, very visible.
Okay, a show of force.
Right. They also alerted the company, told them to prepare for a potential attack. It was a proactive, textbook measure designed to deter. They were essentially hoping to scare the criminals off.
And then came the waiting game. Days turned into weeks. September 17th, the supposed deadline.
Came and went, nothing happened.
No helicopter, no raid, no robbery, nothing.
And this is where the profound misstep occurs. The police, understandably perhaps, interpreted the absence of the expected attack as confirmation of their success.
They thought they'd scared them off.
Exactly. They concluded that their overt surveillance, the visible presence of their helicopters, must have deterred the criminals, convincing them to cancel their plans.
Okay.
So they made the fateful decision to withdraw their helicopters, effectively standing down their aerial watch. This critical decision, born from a logical but ultimately flawed assumption, created the precise window of vulnerability that the criminals were probably waiting for.
Wow.
It's a stark reminder that in complex criminal plots, the absence of evidence isn't always evidence of absence, you know?
Right.
This left the actual target, the G4S Center, completely unprotected from the air.
And that brings us to the main event, the night the heist unfolded. The stage is now perfectly set for one of the most audacious crimes in Swedish history. It's Wednesday, September 23, 2009. The time is precisely 5:1 a.m. Stockholm is still deep in sleep, cloaked in the quiet peace of pre-dawn.
Very early.
Yeah, the city is calm, almost serene. But inside the G4S Cash Service Center in Västberga, the hum of machines is a constant backdrop, counting cash. It's one of the few places in the city that's fully active at that hour.
The employees, having been on their night shift since 7 p.m. the previous evening, are likely feeling the fatigue, probably looking forward to the end of their shift.
Yep.
Then an anomaly occurs. The steady machine noise inside the building suddenly intensifies. It becomes unnaturally loud. Initially, the night shift employees dismiss it. They figure it's just the armored trucks preparing to depart from the ground floor, a common occurrence signaling the shift change is near.
Right, normal sounds of business.
But within a minute, that noise escalates beyond anything normal. It becomes far too loud to be just trucks. It's vibrating through the very structure of the building.
Oh, wow.
A guard on the 3rd floor, sensing something is deeply, viscerally wrong, reports to the shift leader. The building walls are shaking.
That's terrifying.
This immediately sends shivers down the spine, you'd imagine. The shift leader, now on high alert, decides he has to investigate. He steps out of the relative safety of the cash counting room on the 6th floor.
Okay.
And what he sees next is truly horrifying, almost cinematic in its impossibility. Hovering directly above the building, a large red and white helicopter.
Oh, wait. Just hovering there.
An impossible, surreal sight, yet undeniably real.
The moment of realization must have been absolutely chilling. The impossible was actually happening.
And within seconds, that helicopter descends, landing with an almost practiced precision directly on the G4S roof.
Right on the roof.
And from it, 3 masked men leap out. One, clearly knowing the building's layout, moves immediately towards that pyramid-shaped skylight, armed with tools, ready to breach the glass.
They knew exactly where to go.
Exactly. The other 2, with incredible efficiency, quickly unfasten 2 6-meter ladders from the side of the helicopter. There's no wasted motion. Every action is just purposeful.
Wow. And inside, what are the employees doing? Panic.
What's truly remarkable here is the immediate instinctive response from the shift leader inside. He instantly grasps the gravity of the situation. This isn't a drill, it's a full-blown attack.
Right.
He doesn't hesitate. He shouts to other employees to quickly move all the already counted cash to the more secure 2nd floor main vault.
Smart thinking under pressure.
Yeah. The cash that's already been tallied is frantically locked away in storage cabinets. This is a desperate, adrenaline-fueled race against time.
It's a race they're losing, though, but they're fighting for every krona. The shift leader triggers the emergency alarm and, in a desperate attempt to buy time, locks the 2 doors on the 6th floor, sealing themselves in the cash counting room as they wait, just praying for the police to arrive.
But the robbers are moving with incredible, terrifying speed outside.
I bet.
Indeed. The pyramid skylight glass, the building's critical weak point, is shattered with chilling speed.
So they got through the skylight fast.
Very fast. The 3 masked men, with practiced ease, use their ladders to descend into the 4th floor. From there, they rapidly set up another ladder to reach the sixth-floor windows.
The counting room windows.
Right. These windows, as we discussed, were bulletproof glass, specifically designed to resist attack. But the robbers came prepared for that very obstacle.
And the preparation was chillingly effective, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They used explosives.
They did. They used explosives to breach the bulletproof glass. An explosion, then another, reverberating through the building. Once inside the sixth floor, they face a locked door, which is quickly, brutally forced open.
Okay, door one down.
Then the final, toughest barrier. The heavy, custom iron door, the one designed to withstand 15 minutes of sustained attack. This is the last thing separating them from the terrified employees and the cash counting room itself.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
How long did it actually take them?
Well, the terror inside that counting room must have been palpable, almost suffocating. The employees, hiding, can only hear the sounds of the robbers' destructive, relentless progress. They can't determine their exact location. Fear is just gripping them.
Oh, absolutely.
The shift leader, trying to get a handle on the dire situation, calls the guard on the third floor, desperate for information, guidance on whether to stay and try to protect the cash, or flee for their lives.
And then,
with a deafening final blast, the line goes dead.
oh my God.
Another powerful explosion severs the phone lines, cutting them off completely from the outside world. This is the moment the shift leader makes a life-or-death gamble. He decides to take a chance. He leads the employees out of the counting room and down the stairs to hide in the second-floor main vault room.
A desperate, but ultimately life-saving decision. It shows just how close they were to the danger.
And the timing of their escape is chillingly precise. At 5:28 a.m., just 30 seconds after the employees fled to what they hoped was safety,
30 seconds.
a third explosion sounds, shattering that heavy iron door. The three masked men appear exactly where the employees had been moments before.
Unbelievable timing.
They move with clinical, ruthless efficiency, immediately using cutting tools to open the storage cabinets where the counted cash was locked away. They rapidly load massive amounts of cash into their bags, their movements almost choreographed.
The entire process, from breaching that last formidable door to gathering the loot, it sounds incredibly fast and organized.
It was. They spent only 3 minutes and 30 seconds collecting what turns out to be a staggering 150 kilograms of cash.
150 kilos. Imagine trying to lift that.
Exactly. Then, with their bags bulging with millions, they swiftly return to the helicopter, which has been waiting patiently on the roof the whole time.
It's a powerful testament to their meticulous planning, the extensive training, and just the flawless execution of their timeline.
Meanwhile, on the ground, police dispatch units immediately upon receiving the alarm from G4S.
Okay, so police are on the way.
They are, but their response is met with immediate pre-planned roadblocks. They encounter spike strips deliberately placed on the roads by the robbers.
The countermeasures.
Right. A critical delaying tactic designed to obstruct their path and buy the criminals even more precious time.
This is where the robbers' foresight truly shines, isn't it? They didn't just plan the heist. They planned the escape and the police counter-response.
Absolutely. By 5:25 a.m., ground police units manage to arrive at the scene, but they don't immediately enter the building.
Why not?
Their hesitation is completely understandable, really, and perhaps unavoidable given the circumstances. They're unsure of the exact number of robbers, what weaponry they might possess, and, crucially, they're concerned for the safety of any employees still inside.
Right. You can't just storm in guns blazing.
Exactly. They don't want to storm in blindly and inadvertently put lives at risk.
So the ground units are stalled. What about air support? Surely they'd scramble helicopters.
Well, while the ground units are stalled, the robbers execute another masterstroke, sabotaging the police air support. Police helicopter units receive an urgent request for aerial support to the G4S center.
Okay, good.
The crew rushes to their base, eager to launch the helicopter and provide crucial eyes in the sky. Maybe track the fleeing criminals.
There's always a but in this story.
There is. As they reach the entrance to their base, they find it blocked. Lying on the ground is a black rectangular object, flashing a red light.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
A closer, more terrifying look reveals the word "Be on me" written clearly on it.
A bomb at the police helicopter base.
The crew dare not approach. They are frozen, unable to risk entering the base or launching their helicopter. Their hands are completely tied. They have to wait for bomb disposal experts to arrive and neutralize the perceived threat.
So the air support is grounded. Completely.
Completely. This standoff effectively grounds the entire police air support. And what's truly fascinating, almost chilling, here is the direct connection to popular culture.
Oh, so?
This exact tactic, using a fake bomb to deceive police and immobilize a tactical asset, was famously seen in the Hollywood blockbuster Die Hard with a Vengeance.
You're kidding. The Simon Says plot.
Exactly, where it was used to steal gold from a New York underground vault. And here, that fictional scenario played out with terrifying accuracy in real life. It shows a criminal mind willing to draw inspiration from absolutely anywhere, even the movies.
Incredible. It's like they were literally using a Hollywood script as a blueprint for their operation. So unable to launch their own helicopters, the police must have been desperate. Did they try anything else?
They did. In a moment of desperation, they request assistance from the Swedish Air Force, who happened to be conducting exercises out in the Baltic Sea. You'd think a national emergency like this would warrant immediate military assistance, right?
Absolutely. Get the fighter jets.
But the Air Force declines.
Declines. Why?
Their reasoning. The incident is a non-military matter, not falling under their operational purview.
You cannot be serious. A major heist with a helicopter, and it's not their purview.
Apparently so. So, with ground units delayed by spike strips and air support completely neutralized by a clever movie-inspired decoy, the police can only watch helplessly from below.
Oh, the frustration must have been immense.
As the robbers start their helicopter on the roof and with their massive haul of cash, simply fly away into the dawn, disappearing into the Stockholm skyline.
They just fly away. It's almost unbelievable. After the employees reconcile the figures, what was the final tally? How much did they actually get?
The final tally reveals the robbers made off with approximately 39 million Swedish krona.
39 million krona.
Yeah.
Which is around 5.5 million US dollars at the time.
A huge sum. G4S, desperate to recover the cash and bring the culprits to justice, immediately offered a 7 million krona reward for any information leading to its recovery.
Big reward.
But for now, the robbers were long gone, leaving behind a baffled and frankly humiliated police force.
So the immediate aftermath, the robbers disappear with millions, leaving the police frustrated, seemingly outsmarted, and empty-handed. But as we know from real-life investigations, even the cleverest criminals usually leave a trail. So how did the hunt for these audacious robbers begin? What crucial errors did they make?
Precisely. The immediate investigative phase was absolutely critical. At 8:15 a.m., just a few hours after the helicopter vanished from the city skyline, a resident makes a crucial discovery.
What is it?
In a wooded area about 20 kilometers from Stockholm, the abandoned helicopter.
Ah, okay. They ditched it.
Yeah. Investigations quickly reveal it was a private plane, specifically a Bell 206 Jet Ranger, previously stored at the Norrtälje helicopter base. This provides a tangible starting point, confirms their method, and gives police a location to start tracing from.
And later that day, what about the bomb at the police base?
Around 1:00 p.m., the bomb disposal experts finally confirm what the police crew at the base had suspected all along. The device at the police helicopter base entrance was indeed a fake bomb.
A fake. Just like in Die Hard.
A brilliant deception, but now confirmed as part of this real-life crime.
So the police have the helicopter, confirmation of the fake bomb. How did they strategize the investigation from there?
What's fascinating here is how the police immediately shifted their investigation strategy. They moved from a reactive crisis response mode to a systematic, data-driven hunt.
Okay.
They immediately focused on forensic evidence at the G4S Center. They recovered the ladders, the cutting tools used by the robbers, and crucially, they found bloodstains on one of the ladders.
Bloodstains. That's gold. DNA.
Potentially, yes. A potential gold mine for DNA evidence. A GPS locator was also found on the abandoned helicopter, providing its exact flight path, a digital breadcrumb trail.
And this is where modern police work truly kicks in, right? They decide to use geographical profiling, a sophisticated technique. For our listeners, what exactly does geographical profiling entail and how would it apply here?
Right. Geographical profiling is basically a behavioral science technique. It analyzes the geographical distribution of a series of criminal activities like the G4S Center, the abandoned helicopter site where the spike strips were laid, to infer likely criminal behavior patterns and, critically, potential residence or operational base locations of the offenders. By mapping these key locations, they could start to narrow down the probable areas where the criminals might live or organize from. It's like drawing a statistical bullseye around where the person is most likely to be based.
That's incredibly clever, using geography to predict behavior. But they didn't stop there, did they? They also leveraged mobile network analysis. How did that provide another layer of insight?
No, they went further. Beyond the physical evidence and geographical profiling, they built a comprehensive profile of active mobile phones during the precise window of the robbery.
Okay, tracking phones.
Yeah. Given the early morning hour, most of Stockholm was still asleep. The number of active phones was relatively small. Only about 18,000 unique numbers were active at that time.
Still sounds as a lot.
It is, but manageable with the right filters. And the police shrewdly deduced that given the meticulous planning and rapid, synchronized execution of the heist, the robbers likely used something called closed-loop communication.
Closed-loop communication. What exactly is that in this context? For our listeners.
It's a highly disciplined communication method. Basically, a sender issues an instruction, a receiver gets the message, repeats it back verbatim, and then the sender confirms it's correct.
Like pilots or military use to avoid errors.
Exactly. It creates a tight, immediate feedback loop designed to minimize errors and ensure clear, concise communication during a high-stress operation like this. It's a hallmark of professional, organized teams, not your average smash-and-grab crew.
Okay.
Police filtered the active phone records for this very specific, unusual pattern, looking for these rapid back-and-forth confirmations among a small group of numbers.
And that filtration led to a massive breakthrough, didn't it?
It absolutely did. The key discovery, between 2:55 a.m. and 5:50 a.m., the precise window leading up to and right through the heist, a micro-network of just 14 mobile phones was abnormally active, communicating intensely.
14 phones, that's specific.
Very. And then, abruptly, contact ceased immediately after the robbery. Even more compellingly, some of these phone movement paths, traced via cell tower pings, precisely matched the helicopter's flight path and the locations where the spike strips and the fake bomb were placed.
Wow, that's undeniable linkage.
It was a massive, undeniable lead connecting a small group of individuals directly to the crime through their phone activity.
So they had this dual approach. Investigate the mobile network's base stations to pinpoint locations and simultaneously cross-reference this with a list of licensed helicopter pilots. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but with a highly refined search strategy. How many licensed helicopter pilots were there in Sweden at the time?
As of September 2009, there were 552 valid helicopter pilot licenses in Sweden.
552. Yeah. Still a lot of people to sift through.
Still a lot, but far more manageable than the general population. And after just 3 days of intense scrutiny, cross-referencing these 14 suspicious phone numbers and their movements with the pilot database, one name sharply came into focus. A man named Eriksson.
Eriksson. What made him stand out?
He not only possessed a helicopter license, but he also owned a private helicopter. And critically, it was stored at the same Norrtälje base as the one stolen in the heist.
The same base. Okay, the coincidences are piling up fast.
Way too much coincidence to ignore. 5 days after the robbery, Eriksson is arrested. Where do they actually find him? Was he trying to make a run for it?
Yeah, was he laying low or?
Yeah. He was apprehended right at the airport, attempting to flee to the Canary Islands in southern Spain.
Trying to escape. Classic move.
A classic move for someone trying to disappear quickly. When questioned, he immediately denied any involvement, claiming he had been using drugs and couldn't remember what had happened that day.
The I don't remember defense. Convenient.
Convenient, if rather flimsy, alibi for someone trying to evade capture.
A convenient alibi, perhaps, but the police are often a step ahead, especially when they have this much data. What evidence quickly dismantled his story?
Indeed. The police quickly dismantled his story. They found surveillance video from a McDonald's in Täby.
McDonald's?
Yeah, near the helicopter's dishing site, just a 10-minute drive away. The video clearly showed Eriksson inside.
Okay, placing him near the scene.
Exactly. And critically, his bank card usage records, which he used for a seemingly innocuous transaction there.
He used his own card.
He did. That small purchase directly contradicted his alibi about not remembering anything and provided a crucial paper trail, definitively proving his involvement near the scene at the relevant time.
Wow. A rookie mistake, almost.
A huge mistake. With Eriksson in custody and the net tightening, police subsequently arrested 10 more suspects. Information began to flow piece by painstaking piece, leading to a complete reconstruction of the entire meticulously planned operation.
So now we have the players. And this is where the story gets even more fascinating, I think, delving into the minds behind this astonishing crime. Who was the mastermind behind this incredible operation, and who were the elite individuals he brought together to execute it?
The architect of this entire audacious plan was a man named Bojovic.
Bojovic.
He was 38 years old at the time. His parents were immigrants from Montenegro. On the surface, he presented himself as a legitimate construction company owner, respectable businessman.
The perfect cover.
But the reality was far darker. He was secretly and deeply linked to Serbian and Montenegrin criminal organizations. A true shadowy figure in the underworld.
He sounds like a proper criminal mastermind.
Yeah.
What motivated him to pick this specific target and plan such a complex heist in Sweden? It feels like an incredibly high-risk, high-reward endeavor.
Well, Bojovich's motivation and context are kind of rooted in Sweden's surprisingly high frequency of robberies at the time.
Really? High frequency?
Yeah, between 1998 and 2004, Sweden experienced 224 large-scale robberies. Compare that to Finland, which had only 4 during the same period.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
It is. This highlighted a perceived opportunity, maybe an environment where such crimes were more frequent, suggesting less risk or perhaps easier targets to him. He chose the G4S Vestberga Center after extensive methodical reconnaissance.
So he did his homework.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't just looking for money. He was looking for the most lucrative and paradoxically the most vulnerable target among the high-value ones.
And he didn't just pick a target. He picked the perfect timing. That's another hallmark of meticulous planning, isn't it?
Precisely. He identified September 23rd as the optimal date because of a key operational detail at G4S that most people wouldn't know. Sweden's national payday is the 25th of each month.
Okay.
And 2 days prior, on the 23rd, the cash center's holdings would peak. They'd reach around 1.5 billion krona.
Maximum cash on hand.
Exactly. This was the largest possible payout window, maximizing their potential take. And as we discussed earlier, his reconnaissance identified the unguarded pyramid-shaped skylight on the roof as the building's single weakest point.
Right, the skylight again.
He decided to exploit that unique vulnerability rather than trying to breach the heavily fortified lower levels. Smarter, faster.
So he had the target, the timing, and the entry point. Now, to assemble the team, this couldn't be just any group of criminals. He needed specialists, right? Individuals with very specific skills and presumably nerves of steel.
Absolutely. He built an elite team, each member meticulously selected for a specific vital role.
Okay, who was on the crew?
First, there was Chapro. He held dual Syrian-Swedish nationality and, surprisingly, worked as a PE teacher in a Stockholm school.
A PE teacher? Seriously?
Yeah, leading a seemingly normal life. However, he had a history of theft, making him a known quantity to the police, but Bojovich saw him as calm and decisive, an ideal candidate for high-pressure situations.
And his role?
Chapro's role was procuring 5 prepaid phones for their secure, closed-loop communication during the operation, a standard but critical piece of criminal tradecraft to avoid traceability.
Okay, the burner phones guy. Got it.
Nah.
Who was next on Bojovich's recruitment list, maybe to breach that unusual skylight?
To breach that pyramid glass skylight and gain entry, Bojovich brought in Khatum.
Khatum.
He was 31 years old, described as powerfully built, an Iraqi immigrant. Importantly, Khatum had a significant criminal history. He'd been involved in the infamous 2000 Swedish National Museum heist.
The museum heist. With the Rembrandt and Renoir paintings.
That's the one. Paintings worth an astonishing 390 million krona were stolen then. So Khatum was the muscle, the brute force capable of breaking through that difficult tempered glass entry point, and he had a proven track record with high-value targets.
Okay, so he's the heavy hitter. And once they were inside, after breaking the glass, they still had those heavy custom iron doors on the 6th floor, the ones designed to withstand 15 minutes of attack. That sounds like a job for a real explosives expert.
That's precisely where Soderman came in.
Soderman?
At 33 years old, he was indeed an explosives expert, a bomb maker. His crucial role was fabricating magnetic homemade explosive devices specifically designed to open those custom iron doors inside the building to access the cash counting room.
Homemade magnetic explosives. Wow.
Yeah, these weren't crude devices. They were tailored for precision and speed. Soderman also meticulously scouted the nearest police helicopter base, Middenj. He understood their layout, their procedures, and precisely where to place that critical distraction, the fake bomb. That was vital for the next phase of the plan.
They were really thinking several steps ahead, planning not just the entry, but how to neutralize any immediate police response. So the path from the roof to the cache was clear. But how would they even get to the roof in the first place? That's where the daring helicopter idea came in. And that required a specific kind of recruiter to find the right pilot, I guess.
For that crucial piece, Bojovich contacted a man named Zai. Zai had grown up in Sweden but later moved to Serbia. He became a key figure in Swedish-Serbian organized crime with a wide range of criminal activities and a vast network. Bojovich tasked Zai with finding a suitable pilot for this unprecedented operation.
Okay, and this is where things get interesting again with the police intelligence, right?
Yes. Here's where fate, or perhaps police diligence, intervened in a big way. Due to Zai's frequent criminal activity and his connections to organized crime, the police were already secretly monitoring him and his communications.
So, Zai's call to Bojovic, discussing the need for a pilot for a major operation, was intercepted. That's the exact intelligence that came from the Serbian Ministry of Foreign Affairs a month before the heist. The one the Swedish police initially acted on, but then ultimately misjudged. It all ties back together.
Exactly. The very call that initiated the entire investigation, alerting authorities to a potential helicopter heist, was a direct result of Zai's existing surveillance. The Swedish police, as we noted, thought their overt surveillance had scared off the criminals when they focused on Panaxia.
But they hadn't scared them off at all.
Not at all. Bojovic hadn't abandoned the plan. He had, in fact, found his pilot through Zai Eriksson.
And Eriksson sounds like such an unlikely accomplice. He was 34, a renowned photographer, even working for TV4, a major Swedish television channel.
Well-known figure.
Yeah, widely known in media circles, held a helicopter license, and owned his own helicopter for aerial photography.
Yeah.
He wasn't short on money, apparently, suggesting he wasn't driven by desperation. It sounds more like he joined for the thrill, the sheer adventure of it.
That seems to be the consensus. He was drawn to the excitement, the challenge, the pure audacious nature of such a plan. He embodied that adventurous individual type. And he provided a crucial piece of information to Bojovic. His private helicopter was stored at the Norrtälje helicopter base, which, according to Eriksson, was not strictly managed, making it relatively easy to steal a helicopter from there.
The inside track on securing the getaway vehicle. Perfect.
It was the perfect inside track. Once the core team was assembled, Bojovic, Chapro, Kathum, Söderman, Zai linking to Eriksson, Bojovic didn't just send them off with a rough idea. He provided rigorous training and detailed deployment plans for the team.
Right.
This wasn't a spontaneous grab and dash. It was a highly professional operation, almost military in its precision. Chapro purchased those 5 prepaid phones. Söderman scouted the police helicopter base meticulously, learning its operating procedures, shift changes, entry points. This detail-oriented preparation is what truly sets this heist apart.
Okay, we have the players, the incredibly detailed plan, and the meticulous preparation. Now let's trace the execution timeline, moment by shocking moment, as the heist actually unfolds on the night of September 23rd. This is where all that planning comes to life.
Or criminal fruition, perhaps?
Yeah, right.
It's the early hours of September 23rd, and the operation begins with the coordinated deployment of the team. Between 3:00 a.m. and 4 a.m., one group, moving silently in the darkness, is busy laying spike strips.
Already? That early?
Yeah, on the main routes that police would typically use to respond to an alarm at G4S. This is a crucial early step, designed to buy them precious time and hobble any immediate ground response later on.
A truly strategic move to ensure their escape route is clear, and the police response is hobbled right from the start. They're thinking several moves ahead.
Definitely. At 4:38 a.m., just under an hour before the main assault on G4S, Eriksson, the pilot, and Chapro, the communicator, execute their part. They arrive at the Norrtälje helicopter base, the one Eriksson knew was loosely managed.
And they steal the helicopter.
They steal a Bell 206 Jet Ranger helicopter and quickly fly it towards a rendezvous point where the rest of the team, Kathum and Söderman, awaits, ready to commence the main operation.
And as that stolen helicopter's in the air, another critical piece of the puzzle falls into place, neutralizing any aerial police pursuit before it even starts.
Yes. At 5:13 a.m., Söderman, the explosives expert, wearing gloves to avoid leaving prints, places the fake bomb at the very entrance of the police helicopter base in Mittinge.
The die-hard bomb.
The die-hard tactic come to life, designed to completely ground police air support. After placing it, he meticulously brains his gloves and flashlight in nearby bushes, attempting to destroy any forensic evidence covering his tracks.
Sure.
Meanwhile, the remaining team members are waiting at the rendezvous point, ready to proceed to the G4S center as soon as the helicopter arrives. Every action is timed, synchronized.
Every minute counts. Every action is synchronized, leading to the dramatic crescendo.
And then, at precisely 5:15 a.m., the stolen helicopter lands on the G4S building's roof. The noise is now deafening for anyone inside. The robbers immediately begin their frenzied assault and the looting, the sounds of breaking glass, explosives, a terrifying symphony of destruction.
The police, upon receiving the alarm from G4S, immediately dispatch ground units, but they're caught directly in the trap laid hours earlier.
Right. Ground units are delayed by those precisely pre-placed spike strips, forcing them to navigate treacherous roads slowly. And air support, as we discussed, is completely blocked by that fake bomb at the mid-range base.
So the police on the ground arrive, but they hesitate.
Yeah, the police on the ground, uncertain of the number of robbers or their weaponry and prioritizing employee safety, hesitate to enter the building immediately. This hesitation, though completely understandable given the extreme danger and unknown threats, plays directly into the robbers' hands, buying them crucial minutes.
While the heist is in full swing inside the G4S building, and the police are effectively stuck outside, we see Erickson, the pilot, making that critical mistake that will eventually lead to his capture.
Right. At 6:50 a.m., after ditching the helicopter in that wooded area in Taby, Erickson walks into a McDonald's.
McDonald's again. It seems so mundane in the middle of this huge crime.
It is. It's about a 10-minute drive from where the helicopter was abandoned. He borrows a phone, calls a rental car company, and introduces himself as John, arranging for a car to take him to Stockholm city center. He's trying to create a clean break from the crime scene.
He's trying to cover his tracks, create distance, establish an alibi. But he makes that fatal error, that small detail that becomes a massive crack in his carefully constructed facade.
Yes. Erickson then uses his own bank card to pay for the car rental.
No, his own card.
His own card. This creates a clear, undeniable paper trail, directly linking him personally to the area near the helicopter dump site and the time immediately following the heist, completely undermining his attempts to forge an alibi. It's a seemingly small, careless detail, but in a forensic investigation, it's a colossal clue. A gift to the police, really.
A gift indeed. Meanwhile, back at the G4S Center, the police finally enter the building at 7 a.m., almost an hour after the alarm first went off. The robbers are long gone by now.
Long gone, but they immediately find crucial forensic evidence that the robbers inadvertently left behind in their haste.
The bloodstain.
They find the bloodstains on one of the ladders used by the robbers, indicating an injury during the chaotic cash handling. This blood sample is quickly sent for DNA analysis. From this DNA, the police identify Khattum,
The glassbreaker. Got him.
the man responsible for breaking the glass skylight and one of the 3 who entered the building. Similarly, near the police helicopter base, from that partially burned glove and lighter found in the bushes.
Soderman's attempt to destroy evidence.
Right. DNA is recovered from those items, leading to the identification of Soderman, the explosives expert. The physical evidence is starting to build a compelling picture, pointing directly at individuals.
The net is tightening quickly around the team members. And then another crucial piece of intelligence falls into place, connecting the dots back to the mastermind himself.
Right. At 8:13 a.m., police monitoring the Serbian criminal underworld intercept a message. It's from Zai,
The recruiter.
the Serbian crime boss who recruited Erickson, sent to Bojovic, the mastermind. The message contains a single telling detail, a surprised emoji.
The surprised emoji. That's it.
That's it. But this, combined with existing evidence of close contact between Erickson and Bojovic and the previous intelligence from Serbia about the planned heist, it quickly allows the police to positively identify Bojovic as the ringleader, the orchestrator of this entire scheme.
It's astonishing how quickly they pieced it all together once they had those initial breakthroughs, the DNA, the bank card, the emoji.
Yeah, the threads came together fast, and just 4 days after the heist, Bojovic, the Austrian mastermind, is arrested, bringing the primary architect of this audacious crime into custody.
So we've traced the incredible planning, the audacious execution of the helicopter heist, and the swift, ingenious police work that followed. Now let's talk about the immediate aftermath, the arrests, the convictions, and the lingering mystery that still surrounds this heist of the century.
The police investigation was incredibly extensive, far-reaching beyond those initial arrests. Their findings revealed that at least 20 people were involved in this highly organized heist.
20 people, wow.
Far more than just the 3 men who physically entered the building. It was a complex network of support, logistics, planning. They moved swiftly, eventually arresting 10 individuals in connection with the crime.
10 arrests out of potentially 20 involved. And what was the outcome in court? Was justice served for a crime of this magnitude?
Well, the trials began in October 2010 at the Södertörn District Court, about a year after the heist. Out of the 10 arrested, 7 were ultimately convicted.
7 convictions.
Yeah. The court delivered significant sentences, reflecting the severity and sophisticated nature of the crime. Bojovic, the mastermind, Khattum, the glassbreaker, and Erickson, the pilot.
The core trio.
They were each sentenced to a substantial 8 years in prison for robbery. These were the key players, the ones at the forefront of the physical execution.
8 years. Seems substantial. What about the others who assisted? The support crew?
Chopra, who handled the communications and helped steal the helicopter, and Soderman, the explosives expert who placed the fake bomb and engineered the internal breaches, they were each sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Okay.
Additionally, 2 other individuals named Axe and Broman received 2 years and 1 year, respectively, for their roles in helping Erickson forge his alibi, specifically related to that car rental payment.
Covering for the McDonald's mistake cost them.
Their small, seemingly insignificant acts of assistance ultimately tied them directly to the larger crime.
So, while 7 people were brought to justice and imprisoned, this incredible story still has a compelling unsolved element, doesn't it? It feels like the final piece of the puzzle is still missing.
It absolutely does. Despite these convictions, others involved in the heist, members of that larger network of potentially 20 people, remain at large.
Still out there.
Still out there. And perhaps the most tantalizing part of the mystery: tens of millions of krona from the stolen cash are still missing. Their whereabouts unknown to this day.
The money was never recovered.
Not all of it, no. Tens of millions still unaccounted for. This adds a layer of enduring mystique to the case, a final twist that keeps the story alive and maintains its legendary status. It highlights that even when a case is technically solved and convictions are made, complete closure, especially regarding the stolen loot, can remain elusive.
And speaking of keeping the story alive, this heist of the century was so captivating, so cinematic in its execution, that it naturally made its way to the screen, didn't it? Ensuring its place in popular culture.
Yes, inevitably. In November 2024, a miniseries based on the case, aptly titled The Helicopter Heist, was released, bringing this extraordinary true crime story to a global audience.
Makes sense.
It's a powerful testament to how reality, sometimes, can often outpace even the wildest imagination of a screenwriter, delivering drama and intrigue that feels ripped straight from a blockbuster script.
What an incredible ride this has been. A truly detailed look into one of the most daring crimes in modern history. From the audacious planning and the Hollywood-esque tactics to the forensic breakthroughs and those lingering questions. For me, what truly stands out about this incredible true story is the sheer brilliance, you have to admit, of the criminals' counter-police measures.
The planning there was intense.
Yeah, the spike strips, the fake bomb, almost perfectly anticipating and neutralizing the police response. It was a terrifyingly efficient display of criminal ingenuity.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights how a single overlooked detail, like the unguarded skylight, or a profound misinterpretation of intelligence, like thinking they'd scared them off, can have cascading catastrophic effects. The meticulous planning by the criminals, coupled with their willingness to adapt and use unconventional, almost unheard-of methods, truly outmaneuvered the authorities at critical moments.
Definitely.
And the enduring mystery of the missing money, even with convictions, reinforces that crime, even when solved, often leaves behind this long shadow of unanswered questions and lingering loose ends.
Sure.
It also raises an important question for law enforcement worldwide, doesn't it? What can be learned from an event like this to predict and prevent similar high-stakes, unconventional crimes in the future? I mean, how do you prepare for the truly unprecedented?
That's the million-dollar question, or maybe the 39 million krona question in this case. And that, dear listener, is the power of the deep dive. We've taken a stack of sources, articles, research, and hopefully extracted the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight, giving you a shortcut to being truly well-informed about a real-life event that genuinely rivals any blockbuster.
Yeah, sometimes the most unbelievable plots aren't products of imagination.
Exactly. They are drawn directly from the thrilling, surprising, and often mysterious pages of real life. Thank you for joining us for this incredible deep dive into the Swedish helicopter heist.